Underwood and Patsy Mink in leading this caucus. And by the way, how about that quarter with Patsy Mink's face on it? Yes. Now we are finally getting the recognition that we are due for these amazing pioneers. But before our founding, there was a time when we were invisible in the halls of Congress. As a result, there was no one to speak up for us when one of the most discriminatory acts in our nation's history was passed, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, and when Japanese Americans were incarcerated during World War II. That's why it is so significant to see the immense growth of our power. Today, we have 22 AANHPI members of Congress and 79 K-PAC members. This is a historic high. And I want to recognize our incredible K-PAC members that are here, our members of Congress, Jill Takuda from Hawaii, Raja Krishnamurthy from Illinois, Mark Takano from California, and of course, we acknowledged our wonderful Senator Tammy Duckworth. Because we have a seat at the table, we've pushed for the rights and needs of our communities. When COVID-19 resulted in 11,500 anti-Asian hate crimes and incidents, we got the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act passed. When it was evident that so much of the American public did not know about the contributions of AANHPIs, we got the AANHPI Museum Study Bill passed to make sure that people knew that Asian American history is American history. When Trump targeted Chinese researchers as being spies for China through his China Initiative, we pushed back and we got that China Initiative to be ended. And we are still pushing back on Republican efforts to revive it. And now anti-Asian alien land laws that prevent Chinese nationals from owning homes proliferate. But we've successfully fought to keep these provisions out of major pieces of legislation going through Congress. Because we have a seat at the table, we push our federal government partners to ensure our communities are being seen, from requiring the Census Bureau to include AANHPI categories in their reports, to pushing every federal agency to disaggregate AANHPI data so we can improve linguistically and culturally appropriate outreach and ensure that our communities are seen and heard. But there's still so much to be done. We must protect and strengthen diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and affirmative action. We must address unique challenges faced by NHPI communities. We must fight to achieve language access, health equity, and economic justice. We must continue to support our immigrant communities, and that's not just in Congress, but in states, cities, and towns across the nation. Our voices and votes on these issues must not be ignored. AANHPIs are the fastest growing racial group in the United States, and as a result, the fastest growing voting bloc. Yeah. Not only have we claimed our seat at the table, but today we are making a difference in the battleground states like Nevada, Philadelphia, and Georgia. And I expect them to be made again. Can everybody from these three states please stand? Because we know you are the key of our success. Thank you. Because of you, AANHPIs have truly gone from being marginalized to being the margin of victory. And we need to take advantage of this incredible energy and enthusiasm all the way to victory in November. So I urge you all to remain engaged during this election season. So many of you already have leaned in and gotten involved, and I thank you for those efforts. And let me give a shout out to the Harris Waltz campaign for hiring a wonderful AANHPI Engagement Director, Nadia Belkin. Nadia. I tell you, she has already made a huge difference being right there on the ground to make sure that our needs and our voices are being heard. So for those of you who haven't gotten engaged yet, I encourage you to connect with Nadia and to do everything you can to organize test banks, phone banks, knocking on doors, postcards, fundraisers, and anything else you can think of to get out the vote and ensure we are once again the margin of victory in 2024. So thank you, and I look forward to building our community's power with you throughout this week and onwards towards November. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all very, very much. Several members of Congress have stopped in, and we had them scheduled at a little bit different times, but because of the delay in starting, I'm going to ask Congressman Raja to come up, please. And we do have panels for you, but it's going to be a little bit delayed because we have a very, very important visitor that's coming, and as soon as that person comes in, we're going to have to stop proceedings, okay? Please. Raja, please. Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy.
Good morning, Democrats. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Illinois. The weather is like this all year round. Well, look, I want to observe those 3 rules of public speaking. Be short, be sweet, and be gone. So 3 points. First of all, can you give a big round of applause again to Bell, the leadership? I can't hear you. My colleagues. And our home state senator, Tammy Duckworth. That is a crowd-pleasing line in this room. Second point, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. Because why? We need to win this election and elect our first AANHPI President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. There's that old saying in Washington, D.C., if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. We can never afford to be on the menu. We are pulling up our proverbial seats to the table, and now it's time to eat. It is extremely important that we vote in this election our numbers in this country. We are the fastest growing part of the electorate. The census says we are the best educated part of the electorate. We're the most prosperous part of the electorate. And I might add, you're some of the best looking people I've ever seen. But on a more serious note, the stakes could not be higher. I believe, as you do, we Democrats all believe that this country is a place where everyone should be able to realize their potential, regardless of the color of their skin, where they come from, how they pray, whom they love, or the number of letters in their name. There are 29 in mine. We also believe that everyone should be able to get on the up escalator of the economy, regardless of whether they're poor, whether they're middle class, or whether they're growing a business. Am I right about that? So it's time to get involved, to get engaged, to make sure we vote, and to make sure that Kamala Harris becomes the next president of the United States. Thank you so much, and God bless all of you.
Well, in case you wonder where Belle is, we are getting ready for the special guest coming up as we speak right now. I just want everybody to stay put where you are. This is really exciting. If I have a drum, I'll do the drum roll right now. But it's, yes, thank you. Thank you, Harmony. Yay. Oh, my dance number. No, you don't want to see my dance number. Everybody will leave. But seriously, this is really, I just want to say myself, I've never seen a 4-week test change so quickly in my entire life. Am I right? How things have changed in 4 weeks, and it's what we have been looking for. And you know, we AAPI and HPI, as Bell have said, has been on the sideline for so many years. And finally, our margin of victory that we've been demonstrating year after year, and now we're going to be on the top of the ticket, is absolutely historical. And that's why we are so excited, so energized. But again, energy and excitement does not equal to votes, right? We still need people to go back, to do the hard work, to register your friends, your families, to vote. And one thing I remember, my mom comes to me when I get 95 at home. She goes, what happened to the 5 points? When it comes to AAPI voting, what have we learned is that we are doing around 55%. People, that's a D, all right? Our parents won't be proud of a D, and we could do way better than that, am I right? Yes. And after you register, that's not it either. Because if you register and don't vote, it's like doing your homework and not turning it in. Am I right? And that's exactly why we need to make sure that we get our folks, friends, family, neighbors, nieces, nephews who just turned 18, will be turning 18 by November 5th, to register to vote now and be excited to make that happen, because that is how we're going to win in November. Everybody remember the day on 2016. Am I right in November? Yes, we all thought, oh, we're going to get this, we'll win, and we have many tears. But that's not going to happen this time, right? All right, we got Mama Bell back. Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, guess what? I have a surprise for you. I am so excited and so proud to welcome our vice presidential candidate, soon to be nominee for vice president, Command Master I'm going to start with the title that is very important to me. The Command Sergeant Major, Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. A very well-beloved governor. And he's also the state champion. Yes? State champion football coach, and now our joyful warrior. Please welcome Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. Thank you.
Madam Chair, thank you. Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful. Well, good morning, everyone. I said a privilege to be introduced by Madam Chair, no less on her birthday, too. So happy birthday. So incredible. I also think there's somewhere in here is someone I had the privilege of serving in Congress with is Representative Judy Chu's around here somewhere, I believe. Oh, there she is, Judy. You are the best. It is good to see you again. And I believe Representative Dakota is here too from Hawaii. So they're good to see you. We did not get to serve together, but grateful to see you from the House. From the House, a person of the House. So, well, first of all, thank you all. Thank you for being here. You might have seen a few people are kind of excited across this country for Kamala Harris. What they've seen is what you've known in Kamala Harris, a deeply kind, visionary, effective leader. She's taken that message. We were in a bus traveling around western Pennsylvania yesterday, and folks are showing up in huge numbers, whether it's at baseball fields or in the Sheetz Quick Trip, wherever it was. Saturday, I was in Omaha, Nebraska. One of the largest crowds they've seen there. 4,500 people showed up in Omaha, Nebraska. All across this country, and they are showing up. In Las Vegas, Nevada last week, 12,000 people filled an arena. 4,000 people stood in 109-degree heat to try and go to that. And the director out there, Shelby, of the state party in Nevada, used that as an opportunity to sign up 5,000 new volunteers to work that out there. So for each and every one of you who comes, whether it's in elected office, whether it's working inside the caucus, it's all the same reason that you're here, that they showed up in that heat. They showed up in Omaha. They showed up in Pennsylvania. They showed up out in Arizona. They showed up in a field in Wisconsin. They all showed up because they love this country. That's why they showed up. Just like you. And look, this is a group that knows this is a journey. This is the great American journey towards a more perfect union. We know there's more work to be done. We know there's challenges in front of us. These are hard things to tackle, but hard work can be joyful work. Hard work can be happy when you're doing it. Hard work can be about making sure we're inclusive to everyone so that it truly means everyone. So you've watched Vice President Harris over the years. You've seen Mark. Good to see you. I didn't know you were here. Good to see you, my friend Mark. You know, who the whole group is here. Senator Duckworth. Good to see you. Oh my God. These two. These are national treasures. Keep them. So, but people showing up to do that work, and you see an economic plan that talks about something for everyone, where everyone can thrive. And this idea, I listened to her say this yesterday to a group of people in Pennsylvania. She said the mark of a leader or strength, it's not a strong leader to beat someone down. A strong leader lifts people up. A strong leader makes sure everyone's there. And you have watched what you've known in this room, that Kamala Harris is that strong leader. Kamala Harris is the person that can exhibit strength and kindness simultaneously. And don't ever mistake her kindness for weakness, because she's not. She said it. Say it to her face. Say it to her face if you've got something to say, and that's what she's told them. So look, I know all of you in this room know that the alternative is not a place we want to go back to. It is not a place we want to go back to. We're not going back to that. But what you're seeing across America is not people showing up and making homemade signs and standing in the heat and traveling to Chicago and putting up with long lines, which you all did. You know that's happening. You're not doing that out of fear. You're doing it about a hopefulness to move forward into the future. That's the difference. So to each and every one of you, we have the opportunity, and we'll see it. We'll have our official nominee. We will see the next President of the United States take the stage on Thursday night. And I say to this, we got 78 days of hard work. And I think this is a group of folks, and across this city today, we know something about hard work. Hard work's good work. Hard work's joyous work. And I keep saying this, 78 days is nothing. We'll sleep when we're dead. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. So, for each of you, let's wake up on that 79th day. Let's wake up and look into the eyes of your children. Look across to your neighbors and think, my God, we have a woman president. We have a president. We have a president that looks like America, that represents America, that does what we believe. So to each of you, thank you for the work. It is a privilege to be on this ticket. I know what my responsibility is. We've got her back every step of the way. She'll take care of the business she needs to go. We've got her back. Let's get it done. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you, Elvis. Senator.
Judy.
All those conversations.
That's amazing.
This is my first conference. This is the first conference. Thank you so much. Can we get a photo here?
gonna tell him not to leave.
Leave already.
Tell him to go sit. Tell him to come back.
Okay. Mark?
By the way, there was a morning. Morning. You better tell him like come back so when you leave. How you doing?
We need to sit down.
It's too long of a pause.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody. We need you to get back to your seat, please, to get back to our program. That was very exciting to our future Vice President right here with everybody. Let's give him another round of applause, and let's get back to our regular programming. Thank you. Please, everybody, go back to your seat, please. Thank you.
Mark, let's go first. Mark, go first.
Hello, everyone. Please take a seat. Everyone, please take a seat. I'd like to welcome Congressman Mark Takano to give his quick remarks. Yes, Mark.
Well, hello, Democrats. It's hard to remember this, but before we had the real black president, remember when Bill Clinton was supposedly the first black president? Well, Tim Walz is going to be the first Chinese vice president of our country. When he broke out in Mandarin with me like 5 years ago, my jaw dropped. I said, really? So my name is Mark Takano. I come from a family of Japanese Americans. I'm a former teacher, an openly gay man, and a proud representative. By the way, also an OG, the original Gaysian in Congress. And if we all work hard, we'll we'll double the Gaysian Caucus with Evan Lowe. I want to acknowledge another proud Gaysian in the state of Georgia, the Assistant Minority Leader, Sam Park. I'm also a proud representative of the California's 39th Congressional District, and I'm fired up to elect the first Asian American to the White House. As you know who that is, Kamala Harris. And while Donald Trump can't wrap his mind around mixed race people, we know better. Kamala Harris will be this country's first black woman to hold the title of President of the United States. You can do both. It's undeniable that the Vice President represents something special to us AAPIs, and we know that our place in America has been hard fought and hard won and can never be taken for granted. And the promise of our democracy means a great deal to us because we have felt the sting of its denial. We know what it means to be outsiders, relegated to people on the fringe. My grandparents and parents were incarcerated in camps during the Second World War for the crime of being Japanese American. And while half a world away, my great uncle Mon fought to gave his life in the U.S. Army's 442nd Regiment. Just imagine the split screen for a moment. A family divided by thousands of miles, one part of it imprisoned by their country, the other part fighting and dying for his country. Now, I tell you this not to bring us down or rub salt in the wound of what our country has done. I say this to remind us where we have been and why this moment matters. Our country has always been a great promise and perfectly conceived. And we certainly did not start out perfect, and we are always struggling and striving to live up to our ideals. And perhaps because I was a teacher, my first thought always goes to the classroom. One day, little boys and little girls will sit and read textbooks about our vice president. How she was the first woman, the first black woman, the first woman of Asian descent elected to the highest office in the land. How those children, many of whom look like us and represent our diversity, will know what they too can achieve. But to make sure that the ink on those pages actually says those things, we've got to do the work. We've got to knock on doors. We've got to talk to our neighbors. We've got to burn up those autodialers and give everything we've got to win this election. And as the motto of the 442nd of the infantry, the segregated Japanese American fighting unit that Jill Takuda is nodding her head, we share that heritage. The motto was go for broke, which means you bet it all on the country. Are you going to go for broke in November? So let's go for broke for Kamala Harris. Let's go for broke for Tim Walz. Let's go for broke for our democracy. Let's go for broke for our country. Thank you very much, and let's win.
Thank you so much, Congressman Takano. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce our favorite, I want to say just Illinois, but actually not just Illinois, but America's senator, Senator Tammy Duckworth. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Welcome. Woo! Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Listen, I am so proud that you're here in Chicago because we're going to tell the story of the Blue Wall. We're going to tell you the story of what it happens when you take progressive policies and put them into work. And when you respect women's reproductive choice, when you invest in labor unions, when we make sure that we invest in our public schools. These are all things we've done here in Illinois, and we continue to bring in foreign direct investment. But I am especially proud to be in this caucus room with Ma Bell and with the AAPI community because we are the margin of victory in battleground state after battleground state after battleground state. I will tell you that John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock tell me all the time, it was the young Asian Americans, the young AANHPIers that was their margin of victory, and that's why they're senators today. But I gotta tell you, we have a heck of a lot more work to do in front of us. We need to reach out to our communities all across the country, back to those battleground states, to Michigan, to Ohio, exactly, to Wisconsin, places where we can win, but we have to turn out for them. So I'm here to lift you up, but I'm also here to put you back to work as well. Party hard today, have a lot of fun. It's funny, Mark Takano said that, you know, the Republicans are afraid of biracial people. And I'm like, I'm Thai, right? We know that you need both the nampla and the chili to make a spicy dish. You need all the spices, man. And then I'm just gonna end by saying, get back to work so we can get that racist, sexist, 5-time draft dodging felon SOB out of there. Thanks all. Thank you. Take care. All right. Hopefully you're back on schedule.
Thank you so much, Senator. Congressman Green is in the house. Please give him a warm welcome. Thank you so much, Congressman, for stopping by. Thank you. At this time, I would love to welcome Congressman Ted Lieu. He is the highest-ranking member in the Congress, the highest-ranking AAPI member in Congress. He is the vice chair of the Democratic Caucus. Would you please come on up, Ted?
Hello. So all the members of Congress here today served in a Republican-controlled House for a year and a half. So let me just first say how thrilled I am to now stand in front of normal, rational, kind people. Want to thank Belle for the tremendous job she's done heading up the AA and HPI Caucus. And I also want to give a shout out to my K-PAC colleagues on the executive board. We have our chair, Judy Chu. We have our first vice chair, Grace Meng, second vice chair, Mark Takano, our freshman representative, the terrific Joe Takuda, and all the other K-PAC members who are here with us today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the AA and HPI community, and there's both good news and bad news. So I'm going to start with the bad news first. As all of you know, there's been a shocking rise in hate crimes against Asian Americans. During the pandemic, it rose to 339%. And certainly that was egged on by a former president that used racist phrases like Kung Flu. He also essentially blamed the virus on people that look like us. And even today, he continues to repeatedly mock Elaine Chao's name. So when Donald Trump mocks Elaine Chao's name, he is not only disrespecting her, he is disrespecting you and your family and the community. And I wish you would stop. Now, the good news is the Biden-Harris administration is exactly the opposite. Joe Biden signed 2 executive orders to combat hate crimes. Kamala Harris has fought hate crimes her entire career, starting in her career as a prosecutor and as Attorney General. And Congress passed 2 laws to fight the COVID-19 hate crimes, the bipartisan COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act that K-PAC members helped push through. And if you look at our demographics, AAPIs are now the fastest growing group in America, doubling in size since 2000. The Pew Research report expects that by 2055, Asian Americans will be the largest immigrant group in America. And not just in places like California, New York, but places like Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Arizona. And in fact, in each of those states I just named, there are more Asian Americans who voted in 2020 than the margin of victory. And so as Congressman Judy Chu says, we've now gone from being marginalized to now the margin of victory. Understand the power that you have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Congressman Lieu. Now it's my pleasure to bring up Congresswoman Jill Takuda of Hawaii. Please come to the podium.
All right, aloha, everyone. Oh, we can do better. Aloha. Well, let me tell you, it is really hard for me to top the speakers we just had. Whether it's my Gaysian brother, Mark Takano, who is always there supporting me, or whether it is our McKinley High School alumni sister, Tammy Duckworth. And of course, I love to embarrass him, and he's still here. You do know Ted Lieu is the highest ranking Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander member of leadership in Congress in U.S. history, right? History. 248 years it took us to do this. And the Asian mother in me knows that one day, Ted, we're going to make you speaker, too. I always get him in trouble for that. But let me tell you something. If you've ever wondered if we mattered as a caucus, if you've ever wondered if people see us, then just take a look at what happened. The next vice president of the United States showed up. He showed up. He came here to make it very clear. He spoke Mandarin. Mandarin. He let us know definitively that he sees us, he hears us, he understands us, and he will be the one to lift us up in November. You know, I thought a lot about what I would say today, knowing I was going to go after a lot of very esteemed speakers, and my mind kept going back to a conversation that I had a little over a month ago with a great Democrat, possibly the greatest Democrat of all of us. And I remember telling him that people were questioning if he should run. And they've criticized how he speaks. And they've asked him whether or not he could win. And I told him, welcome to our world. No one ever asks us as ANHPI to run. We aren't often sought out to be put on the ballot. Our qualifications are often questioned, and not just by the public, but by ourselves many times. But we run anyway because people need to see us. Our people, our children, our grandchildren need to see us in these positions. They need to hear us, and the bottom line is America will be stronger because of us. You know, 28 years ago in Chicago was my very first Democratic National Convention. Mark Takano was another delegate. We had 200 delegates of AANHPI descent. We were so proud of that particular moment. We had 6 members of Congress stop and take a moment to look how far we have come. We didn't need a room this big for our caucus back in the day. It was the smallest room, in fact, I would argue, that they would put us in because that's all we needed at that time. A record 22 members of Congress, countless members and delegates that will be on the floor. Look right outside at the staff, the leadership within the campaign, AANHPI, everywhere, and most important, at the very top of the ticket, an AANHPI woman running for president. We didn't get here because we waited to be asked. We got here because we understood the importance of being present and, as the vice president soon to be said, showing up. You know, the great Shirley Chisholm, whose picture sits right across from Patsy's in the Capitol, would say that if they don't have a seat for you at the table, bring your own folding chair. And if there's no chairs, stand. My friends, we have been bringing our chairs, standing, forcing doors open, showing up, and this is our moment right now. We are, as Judy said, the margin of victory. Up and down this ticket, we will be a part of saving the very democracy of our country. Each and every one of you that has bravely stepped forward to run, raise your hands if you're a candidate. Stand up, stand up and be proud. Look at your candidates. Support them, they need you. You have been sitting too long, my friends. These are our AANHPI candidates. And if you are supporting a candidate, you stand up too and be proud. Thank you. If you're a donor, if you're a canvasser, a volunteer, okay, everyone really should be standing in this room, but it's all good. They're very Asian of us. We're sitting down. But what I'm trying to say is right now we have a chance to take back the House. We have a chance to take the White House. Who's here from California right now? Let's hear you. Then you know what your job is. Derek Tran, Dave Min, Evan Lowe. We need to get them in Congress. Arizona. Where's Arizona? Okay, Arizona's not Arizona, right there. Then you need to be there for Amish Shah, who is neck and neck with Schweikert. We can take him out right now. Iowa. I have Iowa in the House. Iowa, I'm sure Iowa is somewhere, by the way. But if not, drive to Iowa. Lannon Bacom is in the dead heat with Zach Nunn. We can take them out. ANHPI around the country need our help, and you know that. When ANHPI vote, what happens? We win. ANHPI win. When ANHPI run for office, we win. When Kamala Harris wins, we win. You know what we've got to do between now and November. Our mission is clear. We need to get our people out to vote. We need to lift up all of our candidates here and outside working hard, and most importantly, we must elect Kamala Harris president. Thank you, my friends. We are going to win this November. That will be the best birthday present for Belle. Sorry,
Yes.
it'll be a little delayed.
I will take that birthday present. It now gives me great pleasure and honor and personal privilege to introduce my chair, Jamie Harrison. Yeah. Let me tell you what a difference it makes to have somebody that is not only our friend but our ally. And Jamie has been our ally from day one. He has been there every step of the way supporting us, and I can't say, I could take all day talking about him, so, but we don't have all day, so let me turn it over to my friend, Jamie Harrison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, listen, first and foremost, thank you all. Thank you, thank you. First and foremost, I have to wish the belle of the ball, I have to wish her a very, very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Belle.
Thank you.
I don't know if you all know how much I love Belle, but I love her so, so much because she has always had my back. She has always been in my corner. And she fights for you all like nothing I have ever seen. She fights for this caucus. Every single thing that she can get for her caucus, for her community, she fights for it. And she's not quiet about it. You're going to know that she is there in your corner. And she's been that way for me as well. And Belle, thank you again for your leadership and your friendship over the years. Love you. Love you. And there's so many friends here in the caucus, so many friends, and I just want you all to know how grateful I am for each and every one of you and how grateful I am for this caucus. You know, it's amazing to think about the history that we are in right now. I want you all to know, to step back and think about this. You all are history makers. You all are history makers, and you are an important part of the history that we are making right now. In just a few minutes, or a few hours, now I'm going to be on that stage with Mignon Moore as we gavel in this convention here in Chicago. And folks, I think about, and it's one of those things where you pinch yourself when I think about the history that we're about to make. That you have two African Americans that will be on that stage gaveling in. Just 60 years ago, Fannie Lou Hamer was testifying in front of the Credentials Committee, where she had an all-white delegation. And she said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And fast forward, you will have two folks of color gaveling in this convention as we nominate our president, our next president, the first AANHPI and black woman president of the United States. Folks, that is history. That is history. And we know this, my friends. This community will make the difference in Georgia, in Nevada, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, in Arizona, in all of our battleground states. And how do I know you will make the difference? Because you've made the difference before. We would not have won Georgia but for the AANHPI community. We wouldn't have done it. And so on behalf of a grateful party, on behalf of a president that has seen us, that has heard us, but most importantly, that has valued us and fought for us, for a vice president who I call our MVP, who is one of us, and for our new coach, Tim Walz, who also has been in our corner, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for standing in our corner. Thank you for fighting for us. And we know, because the vice president says this, when we fight, we We win. And folks, we are the party of hope. We know what the other side is all about. We have seen how he has demonized the AANHPI community. And we are saying with one voice, one unified voice, enough is enough. We, my friends, are the party of hope. They're the party of fear. We are the party of hope. And hope will win every single time. So are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to make history? Let's go do it, y'all.
Okay. We're going to take a picture. Where should we do it? Right here?
I wanted to take a picture of the leadership with our, with my child.
Okay, do you want to say when we fight, we win? Okay, on three.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
When we fight, we win.
Fight to win. Yeah. Okay. Who's here next? That's it. We start. Okay. I think we have actually 3 panels. Oh. We're good? Excuse me. Okay, can we bring the youth panel up? Ashley. Ashley is our DNC caucus member from Texas, and she's going to come and talk with the, bring the youth panel up to talk.
Good morning, y'all. The energy in this room is so incredible and through these halls today, and it's just gonna get better and better. And I just wanna give credit to the youth. I'll just be transparent. By DNC standards, I am a DNC member, by the way, from Texas. I'm the co-founder of the C3 Asian Texans for Justice, and also the communications chair for Asian American Democrats of Texas. But by DNC standards, I'm officially old. As of a few years ago. And I just want to give credit to our real youth for creating like the memification and so much energy that has really catapulted all of the joy and the Generation Brat, as Belle mentioned earlier, who have bringing so much energy to this campaign. So thank you so much to Belle for making this time to highlight our incredible youth we have here today. I'll have them introduce themselves momentarily. How auspicious is it that today is Belle's birthday, but it is also a blue moon. So I think we are definitely going to be making Belle's wish come true and having that AANHPI president finally. Let's go down. I'm going to have all of our panelists introduce themselves, their names, their pronouns, their titles, and their home state. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Zoe Kadri. I'm a council member out of Austin, Texas. He, him, his pronouns. And I'm really excited to be here.
Hello, real quick. My name is Hugh Lee. I am from the proud Las Vegas, Nevada. And on top of that, I'm a nonprofit founder of the Nevada Esports Education League, Vietnamese community, and youth co-founder of the Youth Voice.
See if this is on. Hi, everyone. I'm Bianca Shaw, born and raised in the great state of Maryland. And I lead the youth outreach for South Asians for Him.
Hey folks, my name is Annika Krogi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm from the great state of our great chair, South Carolina, and I am the national chairwoman of the High School Democrats of America. I just know we have so much energy in here. Let's keep that energy going because young people in this caucus are going to get those wins we need.
All right, we're going to just jump right in. The first question is going to be to our ladies down here at the end. And I'm just going to have to say, I know, like, we are blessed as an AANHPI caucus to have some incredible electives that we've seen today. But if you are, like, in line to get selfies with the future of America, I know Kamala's going to be our first Asian president, but just wait. What, you all have, like, 10 or 15 years before you can run? Like, I've gotten the pleasure of being able to work and see these women lead in their respective spaces, and I do not say this lightly. Like, honestly, these are incredible leaders. And we are all experiencing this moment of hope and joy. And I want to hear from both of you of how you think we can take that hope-filled messaging to the youth to get them out to vote. Because as Otto mentioned, energy isn't going to win this election alone, right? We've got to get to work.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley, for that question. So I think over the past few weeks, I've gotten a lot of questions from different folks in the API space, seeing the rap memes, seeing all of the mobilization on social media, and asking why you now want to get engaged. What changed? So for a while, I was really trying to put my finger on what did truly change. And I came to realize that for most of us, and I know for most of us, I had just turned 16 years old when Trump came into office. Ami here was 10 when Trump came into office. So our entire time of being involved in politics, what we came up in, this entire political involvement and political environment was one of us trying to fight against this figure, fight against hate. And that's all we've known. So, for the past 8 years, it's been a lot of, you have to vote for this person because we can't let this person into office. You have to do this. You have to get others in your community to follow suit because we can't let this figure implement these hateful policies. But what youth really want and what we respond the best to is to that type of hopeful messaging. So when I try to describe what changed in the past few weeks, it's that we now feel like we have something to fight for. We know that all of you have done such incredible work on the ground in each of your states. I mean, look at this amazing representation we now have in Congress. And that is all a result of each of your work over the years, over the decades, in your individual states. And we want to build on that, but in order to do that, we need to have something to say, to look forward to, not just look against. That's really what we're here to tell you. Make sure that you're incorporating that joy-filled messaging, telling youth that it's okay to express their views, it's okay to express the opinions that the policies that they want to see enacted, and allow them a seat at the table to be able to express that and give them the voices so that they know they will be able to make their voices heard in a tangible way. And more than that, we listen.
And I definitely agree with everything Bianca has said. These past few weeks have been weeks that are full of hope and joy. I know every single one of you have felt it. I have felt it, and I have never felt more inspired and empowered to be a Democrat than in these past few weeks. And I know you all feel the same. But what is essential is that we are continuing this energy into November and beyond it, because there are so many other young folks like us in the high school, college, Young Democrats of America, and beyond who want to get involved, who want to have an entry point, who want to make their communities better. And it is up to each and every single one of us in this room right here to be that mentor, to be that helping hand, to reach out to a young Asian AANHPI person that you know and tell them that there is a space for them in this party. They are welcome in this party. And not only are they welcome, they are needed in this party.
Call you?
I am only sitting here today because I had mentors who told me that my voice mattered and that what I had to say could make a difference, that I could represent high schoolers across our country on the issues that matter to us. And the high schoolers across this country, the students across this country, the young people across this country, they need to hear that from each and every single one of you. And if you are a young person, I cannot wait to see you out there knocking doors, making phone calls, helping elect more AA and HPI people to Congress, to elected officials, and making our community stronger.
Wasn't I right? Like, just these, y'all are amazing. I'm like just fangirling up here with everyone on this panel. A quick announcement: if anyone sees the birthday girl's phone, I think she might be missing it. She found it? Okay. I'm going to kick it over to the gentleman over here on this side. Hugh, for those of you guys who might not have worked with him before, he is a master organizer in Nevada, which we know is a key state for Democrats this cycle. And we have a very large A and HPI population there, so they're definitely pivotal in being more than that margin of victory